Oh, come on, man. What is this shit? Pokeballs are amazing things. They are capable of capturing so many of these incredible creatures and somehow housing them for an indefinite period of time. As of the 6th generation, there are 27 different types of Pokeballs. Some are pretty amazing, and some are, well, they're just really stupid. Out of these 27 types, I've narrowed down my 10 favorite, and that's what I'll be counting down for you today. I've judged them based on their effectiveness, their looks, and the personal experiences I've had with some of them. Some of the entries on this list are a bit personal for me, so there might be some disagreement over these. But that's alright, because feel free to put your own top 10 in the comments. I've spent plenty of time focusing on the Pokemon I love or hate in these past Pokemon Month videos, so this video is all about how we catch those things and make them our slaves. This is the top 10 greatest Pokeballs. An integral part of Pokemon is the leveling system. It is practically what the game is based around, seeing as how most evolutions and moves are provided through leveling. But what if you've managed to procure yourself a level 100 badass through determination and hard work? Then I guess there's nothing left but to go back and catch some more Pokemon to waste your life training. This can be made incredibly easy through the Leve Ball, a ball that makes capturing Pokemon with ranging levels much easier. The reason why you would need a Pokeball specific to Pokemon that are 4 times weaker than the one you already have? Well, I don't know, top percentage Rattata and all that shit. But regardless, it is still a cool concept for a ball. So have you ever just wanted to get 2 Pokemon together and force them to breed? No, that's actually kind of disgusting. Well, since you do, then I know this Pokeball is for you. I already told you no, you can't force 2 animals to mate. That violates multiple HIPAA laws, probably. The Leve Ball is perfect for catching that special someone because it's meant to catch the opposite gender of the Pokemon you already have. Okay, but if you're gonna go to that trouble, then why don't you just mate them with a Ditto? Because then how are you gonna get all the special hidden moves you want? It's the only way to breed the master race of Pokemon. Isn't that kinda what Hitler wanted? 9. With almost 30 different types of Pokeballs to use and manipulate to your advantage, it's impossible to go through this list without paying homage to the original Pokeball. The Pokeball is very basic. It's a standard multiplier of 1 catch rate and has no gimmicks to it, but it is still very reliable. It's cost effective and it can catch just about anything if you put the time in. It's also a great tool of amusement whenever you try to catch, let's say, Groudon for around 30 minutes to an hour and you've used up pretty much every Ultra Ball and Great Ball in your inventory and you throw a Pokeball because you're pretty much done with this shit, and at this point you somehow manage to catch this stupid thing. But I digress, it's a Pokeball and nothing more. Just what the average trainer needs. Some Pokeballs follow a trend of being specific to areas or specific to times of the day. So whenever they introduced the underwater sections in Gen 3, obviously a ball had to be added for that area. And thus came the Dive Ball, a Pokeball that really has no significance other than being able to catch probably like 2 Pokemon underwater. However, it's what I've experienced with the Dive Ball that is what makes it stand out in my mind. I had never really used a Dive Ball before because, well, the Pokemon that you would normally use it on are pretty shit. But the least likely time I needed it, it came in handy. Whenever I was battling Regice, and desperately wanted to catch him, I noticed I was running low on Pokeballs of all kinds, but I still had 1 Dive Ball. That 1 Dive Ball caught me that Regice, and now he's one of my favorite Pokemon. So is the Dive Ball useful? No, not at all. But does it mean something to me? You're damn right it does. As a trainer progresses further and further into their journey, they will encounter stronger Pokemon that require a bit more perseverance to attain. So naturally, there had to be a buffer that would prevent this difficulty curve from being too steep, and thus came the improvements on the Pokeball. I would put the Great Ball in here, but I hate the Great Ball. It's dumb! So instead this spot goes to the Ultra Ball. The Ultra Ball is nothing more than an upgrade to the standard Pokeball, but it makes the capture of tougher and tougher Pokemon a bit easier. It's an essential for any encounter with a legendary, and it's definitely needed in the latter part of the game, making it a Pokeball that this list can't live without. Something that has never made much sense in Pokemon are their weights. Like, look at Venomoth. It's a moth, right? What's it gonna weigh, like a couple ounces? It's 27 pounds. And look at Wailord. This thing weighs 877 pounds. You know how much an actual blue whale weighs? A fucking lot more than 877 pounds. But never fear, for those rather hefty pocket monsters that don't follow any sensible biological standards, you always have the Heavy Ball. The Heavy Ball is a mix of uniqueness and practicality. The heavier a Pokemon is, the easier they are to capture, making a Pokemon like Snorlax, if for whatever demented reason you would want this garbage, incredibly easy to catch. Pokemon battles generally go rather quick, however there are sometimes those particular assholes that just won't stop resisting their inevitable enslavement. I'm looking at you, God! Well, that's really not a problem anymore with the 3rd generation because the more they hold out, the easier it'll be to catch them with the Timer Ball. Gen 3 was huge in balancing the entire field of Pokemon, and they happened to do that in the capturing aspect of the game too. Especially in the case of legendaries, the Timer Ball prevents the battle from becoming excruciatingly long, so you can get on with the rest of your adventures by increasing the ball's catch rate by an algorithm of how many turns you've been in the battle. That is unless you get fed up with the battle and just kill the Pokemon instead. Well, if you do happen to get fed up easily, then the next Pokeball on this list might just be for you. You know what's even better than sticking out an epic battle with a Pokemon, trading blows until around the 20th turn whenever you catch it? Catching on the first turn without doing anything. The Quick Ball is stupidly good for having to do just about nothing with it. It works on any Pokemon and has a 5 times catch rate if used on the first turn of battle. I mean, granted, this means you can't do damage to the Pokemon before throwing the Pokeball, but even then it can still easily catch most mid-game Pokemon. However, the part where it acts as a saving grace is when fighting a roaming legendary. Because they retain damage from previous encounters, that means that you can take advantage of their previous bruises and make it even easier for the Quick Ball to capture them on the first turn of the next time you see them, making these one quick capture. So naturally, the Master Ball has to be on this list, right? And it can't just be in the middle either, it has to be at the top, probably even at number 1. It's the best Pokeball in the game, no doubt. It has a 100% catch rate and there's no chance of it failing. But I can't put it at number 1. The Master Ball will always be number 2 in my mind in regards to overall appeal of it. It's such a satisfying thing to use because you only get one and you know that you have to use it on something special, or be like me and use it on a Ditto. The only problem is that it seems too easy. There's no anticipation of how many times it might roll or if you'll hear that euphoric click at the end or not. There's no chance of anything but that click happening, so it can really only hit number 2 in my mind. And after all, there's really nothing that can top the number 1 spot on this list. So just what could beat the Master Ball? Only a ball that has such a large history behind it, one that expands throughout all mediums of the Pokemon franchise, one that has caused so much confusion in the series, and one that is practically universally hated throughout the entire community. The incredibly underwhelming GS Ball. The GS Ball is what I guess to be filed under the experiment category in Pokemon history. It was a brand new Pokeball never seen before that was introduced in the Pokemon Gold and Silver anime for American audiences. It was the topic of a multitude of episodes and held a lot of history behind it. Basically, no one could figure out just what might pop out of it. So what is their initial reaction to this mysterious new Pokeball? Take a hacksaw to it, of course. Well, once this ingenious plan failed, it required a multi-episode story arc that ultimately ended with absolutely nothing. The entire concept was basically shoved under the rug and left to die with my other childhood dreams of getting a puppy and one day becoming SpongeBob SquarePants. It's not that this Pokeball is amazing or anything, it's simply that in the short time it appeared in the show, it encapsulated so many viewers and it garnered almost a cult following, something no other Pokeball has ever done. And hey, the GS Ball wasn't all that bad. It led to the introduction of Kurt into the anime. Who the fuck am I kidding? I hate Kurt.